And then Cecilia, ugh. Hey everybody, it's Andrew and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another edition of Pop Culture. Alright guys, I am excited because last night was the 2018 Miss Teen USA pageant and it was held in Louisiana and I'm just so excited. Let's get right into the review. But first, what is a pop culture review without pop? Alright. So this is a new brand of champagne. Or Prosecco, I should say. Alright. Ooh, it smells delish. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. There we go, let's top it up. Now, it may not be 100% appropriate to be drinking champagne and talking about Miss Teen USA, but it's kind of my thing, so cheers. Alright, so let's get right into this review. We have our champagne, I have the notes, let's start. So, let's start with the stage. The stage, I believe it's going to be the same stage you're using for Miss USA. It is just a giant runway with like LCD backing. It looks cool, but it's a very, very long, very thick runway. There's not different sections of the stage, and during the pageant it kind of just felt like, okay, the girls are here, the hosts are here. It was a little messy in my opinion, but what do I know, I'm not a professional. So I thought it looked a little messy, but it's a cool stage. I like that they're giving the teen girls actual set. In the past couple of years they've just gotten a normal hall stage, you know, not very glitzy, so this was cool that they got this stage, and they're also going to use it for Miss USA. I like that they had the girls introduce themselves right off the bat. That's something I've missed in the Miss USA and Miss Universe pageant. They just kind of had an announcer announce them, so we'll see on Monday if Miss USA they continue that, but they had the girls introduce their names and their states, which is great because every girl gets her moment on stage. So the hosts were Erin Lim, who is the host of E! The Rundown. I believe it's on Snapchat or on their website. I like her, she hosted last year. And then Cecilio Asion, and he's the owner and director of Slay Model Management. They were okay. She was very good. He obviously is not a host, but you can't really hold that against him because, you know, she's a professional, this is what she does. He did good for what his training, I guess. He was a little over the top, but I think that's just personality, and I was on board. The first thing I noticed, besides the giant stage, was this crowd was pathetic. I felt so bad. They were not giving the hosts anything, they weren't giving the girls anything, you barely hear them cheer. The host would have to be like, come on guys, show us more, show us more, show us your love and your appreciation. They weren't having it. So, after the introductions and the host talked for a little bit, we met our top 15. And they are, in this order: California, she's a daughter of 2 veterans. Maryland, once ran a regional political campaign. Illinois, attends a prestigious performing arts high school. Nevada, a film student who wrote a children's book. Georgia, once accepted a community service medal from the White House. Colorado, educate peers of the dangers of drinking and driving. Michigan, was adopted from Ethiopia. Tennessee, won a long jump title. I think she jumped 18 feet, they said. North Carolina, founded her high school's Bollywood Culture Club. Utah, volunteered at a local food bank. Or volunteers, currently. South Carolina was a junior Olympian. Louisiana wants to help teens struggling with anxiety. Kansas speaks to middle schoolers about self-love. West Virginia, she graduated high school 2 years early. I think they said she was 16. And last but not least, Florida, who is an aspiring state senator. So, after the top 15 announcement, the girls go off stage and get ready for the next segment of the competition. So to fill time, since there's no commercial breaks, they brought out the reigning Miss Teen USA, Sophia Dominguez-Heithoff. And she talked about her year and how much she grew through the year. My goodness, she went from being a teenager to being a woman. She talked about working a lot with the Girl Scouts, and it was cool to see her because her reign was unfortunately cut short. I think she has like the shortest Teen USA reign ever, like 9 months or something, very short. Then it was on to the activewear competition. Now, the activewear competition, they had really cool workout clothes. I don't know who donated them, but they looked really cool. But oh my goodness, was it cheesy. These girls were skipping and acting like children, I think, which is fun to a certain extent, but you can tell it was choreographed because it almost looked like they were thinking like, okay, now step backwards, move your shoulders. It was cute to have a little bit of choreography, but they're not children, they're young women. You know, I felt like it was a little foolish, but you know, as long as they had a good time, who am I to judge? So before the top 10 announcement, they brought out the reigning Miss USA, Kyra McCullough, and she talked a little bit about her STEAM program to get kids interested in science and maths. That's her whole platform as Miss USA. So then we announced our top 10, and they were Kansas, Tennessee, Utah, Florida, Colorado, North Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, Illinois, and South Carolina. Now they also had some cute packages that they filmed of the girls in between. My favorite was definitely what aired next, which was their pajama party, where they did kind of speed datings with the girls and they talk about anything, like they just got to know each other. One of the questions, like, who's your woman boss? A lot of them said Olivia Culpo, who was Miss Universe in 2012. And some of them said Ellen DeGeneres, and if the past serves correctly, those girls might end up on Ellen's show getting to meet her. So after that, they spoke with the reigning Miss Universe, Demi-Leigh Nel-Peters, and she talked about her scary attempt. She mentioned a Miss Universe where she was carjacked and she had to fight her way out, so she talked about her platform about women empowerment and just self-defense. So then we saw our top 10 in the evening gown competition. There were a lot of fun colored gowns. They had all the girls come out in their evening gowns, do the evening gown parade, and then our top 10. Of my favorites in the top 10 were Tennessee, Utah, and Illinois. I liked the simplicity of Tennessee and Utah's, and then Illinois was just, I mean, look her photo up. So then before the top 5 announcement, they aired another package of Southern food, and it was hosted by the reigning Miss Teen USA, Sophia Dominguez-Heithoff, Sophia. And she's currently pursuing a degree in law. If being a lawyer doesn't work out, she definitely has it. So she could definitely pursue a career in television broadcasting. She has that it factor. She did really good for somebody who's, you know, technically only been in this for a year. So then we had our top 5 announcement and we got to learn a little bit more about them. So first up was Colorado, and she works closely with kids with special needs. North Carolina, she volunteered with she volunteered with blind kids in India and said it was very eye-opening. I don't know if there was a pun intended there, but then South Carolina, she set up an organization for kids at her high school to help them find volunteer work because she said it was very tough for them to find those opportunities. So then we had Kansas, and they said that she wants to run for political office one day, so they asked her stance on gun control. I don't recall what she said. Then finally was Illinois, who talked about wanting to work in the entertainment industry and how she's an up-and-coming model. So top 5, cheers. From there, we moved right on to the final question. This year I thought it was kind of nostalgic. They asked the remaining 5 contestants questions that past Miss Teen USA winners were asked at their respective pageants. I think they all did pretty well. I think definitely North Carolina and Kansas, their answers were spot on. Like, those girls are eloquent. They knew what they were talking about. They just seemed very comfortable. South Carolina did very well too. They all did great though, but those 2 definitely stood out to me personally, which I think reflected in the results. So after those results were tallied, Sophia took her final walk as Miss Teen USA 2017, and they went over her year. Miss Universe, Demi-Leigh gave her flowers, which I've never seen during a final walk. I don't know if that's a new thing they're gonna start, but yeah, they handed her flowers, which was sweet. And then it was time to crown a new one. So, in this order, the fourth runner-up was North Carolina. The third runner-up was Illinois. The second runner-up was Colorado, which led us down to South Carolina and Kansas. So the first runner-up ended up being South Carolina, which means Kansas is Miss Teen USA 2018. She is 17 years old, and her name is Haley Colburn. I thought she was cute. I thought where she really won it was that final question. It's crazy that that girl's only 17. I can't even answer questions that clearly. I can't even film videos that eloquently and with that much regalness and class. So I kind of hate her, but also I'm so excited for her. I think she's gonna have an amazing year, and I hope they give her a year. I have to say, the most exciting part of the evening for me was seeing that the Mikimoto crowns are back. I called it in my early favorites video that I want them to bring that crown back because they are a trio. They're a collection of crowns. They all belong together. And I said it, if you see it at Miss Teen USA, we're most likely gonna see it at Miss USA. So I hope to see it again at Miss USA, because then all three title holders will be wearing crowns from the same collection, and that's why I watched this. That's it. We have a new Miss Teen USA, Haley Colburn. Good luck on your year. You earned it. And for the first time, since Miss USA is so close afterwards, I'm gonna tell you my final picks for who I think should win. I'm still very, very big fan of New Jersey and Arkansas. Those two immediately caught my eye. Leaning more towards Jersey still. She actually reminds me a lot of Miss USA 2014, Nia Sanchez. Just something about her disposition and her vibe reminded me so much of her, which is a past Miss USA winner, so it's a good quality to have. And Arkansas is just gorgeous. I watched the preliminary competition, and I got some new standouts from preliminaries. I love Nebraska, and I love Mississippi, and Tennessee also is standing out to me. So those are my 5 picks. But anyways, that's it for this edition of Pop Culture. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment below. Do you think Miss Kansas should have won? Because I do. And are you ecstatic that those Mikimoto crowns are back? Because I am. Follow me on all my social media and hit subscribe. Did I say that already? Whatever, hit subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.